Hi everyone, light gun games are a hobby for many. I've always wanted a light gun that could mount it with real-world tactical accessories. Today, I'd like to introduce one of my favorite light guns. I can use my red dot sight to shoot. The light gun is called the XGUN from the Chinese startup Xianfan Tech. Priced at about 200 USD, the main body can switch between controller mode and light gun mode. The XGUN can be mounted in a gun shell. The gun shell is 3D printed, but it can be equipped with the metal canteen rail. The standard AG stock interface supports ER rail stocks. My sight is an open red dot with a vector 4x side flip prism. It can play not only real shooting light gun games on emulators, but also modulated FPS games on computers. The XGUN's mechanics is that the muzzle emits 850nm infrared laser. The camera captures the laser spots to position the aim point. The XGUN's original camera has a wide-angle fisheye lens. The image will be distorted, causing positioning offsets which are quite evident towards the edges. I replace it with a non-fisheye lens, eliminating positioning offsets, but the camera must be placed at a distance from the screen. When using the sight, there will be a parallax. We could adjust the elevation and windage of the sight to 0. Because the light gun's positioning must go under a series of procedures, there will be a delay between the crosshair movement in the game and the sight movement in real world. If using an optical magnifier sight, it's recommended not to exceed 3 to 4 times the magnification. Large magnifications cannot be focused at short distances, and 3 to 4 times magnification already allows you to see pixel points. Due to the crosshair delay, I prefer to turn off the in-game crosshair and aim only using the rear sight, reducing visual interference. It takes time from aiming to trigger activation, so although the delay exists, it is almost unnoticeable when shooting non-moving targets. This is the left-hand version XGUN equipped with an open red dot sight and a fixed 3x prism as a combined sight. The shoulder-changing shooting style of the Delta Force in Black Hawk Down movie left me a deep impression. My dominant hand is my right hand, but I also want to use both hands to shoot. The XGUN's handle has joysticks, giving an awkward feel to wrong hands, so I specifically bought a left-hand version. Now I am using my left hand to play the classic arcade light gun game, Time Crisis. The unique of Time Crisis is its cover system. I have a foot pedal, pressing it to stand up and shoot, and releasing it to crouch. The clack sound is from the pedal. The storyline in Time Crisis is about Prince Sheridan attempting to revive his kingdom by hiring mercenaries leader Wild Dog and kidnapped the president's daughter. The hero is tasked with rescuing her. The small spot on the screen is the infrared laser spot emitted by the light gun. The spot is invisible to the naked eye but can be captured by the recording camera. I'm using a sports camera fixed on my forehead to record, because the head tilts when aiming. If the picture is straight when aiming, it will be a little tilt when lowering the gun. The camera can see the lower red dot lens, but cannot capture the red dot itself, as the red dot of a reflex sight can only be seen from directly behind. Tilting slightly will make it invisible, ensuring that the red dot is parallel to the muzzle and points where you shoot. I play on a 110-inch projection screen from about 2.5 meters away, offering a large field of view, requiring turning my waist to aim from the left to the right, providing an excellent experience. This is something other light guns like Gun4IR cannot provide. For Gun4IR, its camera is mounted on the light gun, requiring capturing the 4 corners of the screen when shooting. Even with a wide-angle lens, it cannot position if the screen is too large. Projection screens have stripes when cameraed, and the filming effects is not as good as LCD, but it's fine during gameplay and it's large enough. Summarize the XGUN's advantages. First, it offers precise positioning, which, in my opinion, is the most crucial aspect of a light gun. Second, it supports some FPS games, providing a different experience for players. Third, it allows the use of third-party tactical accessories to give a real-world aiming feel. Fourth, the positioning mechanics supports a large field of view. And at its current stage, the XGUN has the following shortcomings that I hope will be improved in the future. First, the positioning delay is still apparent when shooting fast-moving targets. Second, the trigger feels like a typical game trigger button without the tactile feedback of a real gun. Third, the XGUN only has a vibration function, there is no blowback function. Though blowback's recoil is not strong, it is still better to have. Fourth, despite the strong expandability of third-party accessories, it requires players to learn and do it themselves. Despite its flaws, the XGUN remains, in my opinion, the best light gun currently available. Besides the first issue, the other issues can be resolved through DIY. I have a BB gun modified into an XGUN with a recoil magnifying module, whose recoil feels like to shoot .22 sports bullets. First stage boss want to fight the hero in melee. Third, times have changed. Beyond 7 steps, the gun is faster. Within 7 steps, the gun is both accurate and faster. The hero is called one-man army. I think he could eliminate all enemies by just one man, one pistol. Not only because he had unlimited bullets and the enemies were poor marksmen, but also because he stormed forward so fast, preventing the enemies from gathering intelligence and organizing counterattacks. He resolved the national crisis in just a few minutes. Time Crisis, released in 1995, is now 30 years old, and the graphics are outdated. However, for many light gun players, as long as the game is fun, graphics do not matter. Grenades can be shot and exploded, saving dodging time. All light gun games screen flicker when shooting because their light gun's mechanics is inserting a black frame into the CRT display, which images line by line and point by point. The light gun's camera captures a few pixels, and by calculating the time from shooting to scanning the white dot, it determines the aim spot. When playing intently, the screen's flickering is almost unnoticeable, though it may cause visual fatigue. Time Crisis has a degree of randomness. Some enemy positions are not fixed. The enemy soldiers' attacks are also somewhat random, with the red soldiers almost always hitting and blue soldiers almost always missing. The bullets are visible, so if you see a red soldier or a bullet coming your way, it's safer to dodge. Although the hero only carries a pistol, almost all the enemies also only have pistols, even with some unarmed. Enemy weapons include pistols, machine guns, grenades, rocket launchers, claws, knives, sticks, but no assault rifles. With such armament, I'm quite sure it can't be a successful coup even without the heroes. This seems to be the hero's only moment of being flanked. Advancing quickly means no time to be flanked. If the timer runs out, the game ends in failure, possibly because the hero wasn't fast enough and got flanked. I like to tell the prince, my lord, times have changed. Your throwing knives may be fast and accurate, but can they be faster than a gun? I got greedy and tried to shoot the red soldier while aiming at the other one, but the large screen, while surely quite immersive, is also a disadvantage for wide-range aiming, as it takes more time to move. If the villain had handed over the hostage to the hero earlier, they might have survived, but their defiance led them to clash with the hero.
How could you? You killed my boss. What do I do now? I can't let...
I'm playing standing up. This gun weighs about 4 pounds, which although not as heavy as a real gun, still might provide some fitness benefits. Holding the gun for long makes my arms sore. Arcade-like gun games are intense, almost constantly aiming and shooting, with only brief breaks during cutscenes. Playing games might not be healthy, but it's unlikely to be too unhealthy playing in this way. You can't play long due to the physical strain. Some XGUN players sit and support their arms on armrests, but I prefer the realistic stance for a more engaging experience. The hero just dodges a bullet with a simple head tilt. No wonder Wild Dog keeps fleeing from him, but the soldiers don't, they are too brave.
You're finally here to save me. Let's end this once and for all. just to be sure.
If only Red Dog had set some trap explosives while fleeing, history might have been different. Now it's a whack-a-mole style boss battle. The pop-up positions are random, so it's safer to shoot while dodging. I don't understand why they even captured the hostage. Since they didn't use her to threaten the hero, they likely wouldn't use her to threaten anyone else either. Capturing her only brought them doom, not a good deal. Sometimes I wonder why the enemies who got close to the hero didn't pull him out from behind cover. While the hero was invincible in gunfights, my observation suggests he had no hand-to-hand combat skills. Anyway, the enemies were too kind. Red Dog sometimes give me a surprise, but Red Dog, that's not enough. To truly surprise the hero, you need to rush and put the gun to his head while he's behind cover. You are much tougher than him, charging to get a 1-for-1 chance is worthwhile. But after all, you're still too kind. I believe Red Dog originally plotted to lure the hero to an explosion point and detonate, but screwed up. However, we'll see him again, or at least most of him. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I plan to make more light gun videos for light gun fans.